This is Radio Romania International. You are listening to our one-hour broadcast in English for listeners in Western Europe and Japan. We can also be heard on the internet at www.rri.ro Channel 1. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and other social media platforms. Our programs are also available on TuneIn and via satellite Eutelsat 16A on 11,512 MHz vertical polarization, azimuth 16 degrees east. Symbol rate 29,950 mega symbols per second, standard DVB-S2, modulation 8 PSK, audio PID 510. We wish you good reception conditions.
Hello, I'm Anna Maria Popescu with the news. First, the headlines. The President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, will address Romania's parliament, the Senate Speaker Florin Cățu announced on Wednesday. Russian forces have hit indiscriminately hospitals, schools and other infrastructure, says the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. And Romania will work to strengthen its defense capabilities, including by earmarking 2.5% of GDP to this sector, President Klaus Iohannis announced. The President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, will address the Parliament of Romania, the Senate Speaker Florin Cățu announced on Wednesday. As Speaker of the Senate, I will make the arrangements for this to happen next week. Ukraine has all my support, Florin Cățu added. Also next week, the Ukrainian head of state is scheduled to address the parliaments of Ireland and Greece. Since the start of Russia's invasion in Ukraine on February the 24th, Volodymyr Zelensky has talked by video link to the parliaments of several countries, including the UK, Canada, the United States, Germany, Italy, Australia, Israel, Poland, and the European Parliament. He also gave an address in last week's special NATO summit, also attended by the US President Joe Biden. Russian forces have used cluster munitions prohibited under international law at least 24 times in populated areas of Ukraine in the 5 weeks since the start of the war. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, announced on Wednesday, according to EFE news agency. Indiscriminate attacks are prohibited under international humanitarian law and may amount to war crimes, she also said, referring to the shelling of homes and administrative buildings, hospitals and schools, water stations and electricity systems. Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said there are positive signals regarding Tuesday's Russian-Ukrainian peace talks in Turkey, but added that Ukraine does not intend to relax its military effort. He emphasized there can be no compromise with respect to his country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Russia's defense ministry said on Wednesday that Russian forces were regrouping near the capital Kyiv and Chernihiv in the north to focus on other key regions and finalize what it called the freeing of Donbass. However, Reuters and the local authorities in Chernihiv confirmed that Russian attacks continued in both regions on Wednesday. On his first visit to China since his country invaded Ukraine, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov Wednesday announced plans for a new, just and democratic world order in a partnership with China. The government of Romania Wednesday approved the national strategy on curbing poverty, aimed at a 7% reduction of poverty in the country by 2027. The legislative framework is necessary in order for relevant EU funding to be accessed. Funds are also earmarked for the setup of 100 care centers to send food to the elderly at their homes. The government also decided on a maximum 20% increase in school enrollment capacities so as to receive child refugees from Ukraine. In related news, the Education Minister announced that the current school terms will be replaced by 5 education modules, alternating with 5 holidays. The next school year is set to begin 2 weeks early on September the 5th and to end on June the 16th. Romania will be taking action to strengthen its defense capabilities, including by allotting 2.5% of its GDP to defense instead of a previous 2.2%. The Romanian President Klaus Iohannis said in a message conveyed on the 18th anniversary of Romania's application for joining NATO. According to Iohannis, Romania will continue to promote the partnership between NATO and the European Union, remaining a staunch ally, a security provider in the Black Sea area, dedicated to the fundamental values of the North Atlantic Alliance. Over 3,500 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed in Romania on Wednesday, along with 36 fatalities, 22 of which from an earlier date. Little over 2,500 patients are currently hospitalized, 395 of them in intensive care. The Health Minister, Alexandru Rafila, said COVID-19 hospitals will gradually resume their regular operations by the end of September. Meanwhile, the vaccine rollout continues in family physician practices. So far, over 8 million people have been fully vaccinated in Romania and 17 million doses of vaccine have been administered. And that was the news on Radio Romania International.
Don't know what you're messing with. Why in the hell don't you leave it alone?
Who is she?
They look just like you and I, but inside they're different. They have no soul.
Who are you?
They call me the garbage man. I dispose of human garbage.
Why are you telling me all this?
Because you're in danger. There's been a little accident, an escape.